Welcome to the leccion2 Introduction to the Fortinet Security Fabric training. At any time, you can click on the Tools icon in the lower right corner to open up the slide notes that are available for this lesson. After completing this lesson, you should be able to describe the evolution of the digital economy and how technology is being leveraged as a strategic imperative, articulate Fortinet's position of security without compromise, provide an overview of the Fortinet Security Fabric, Fortinet's vision for accomplishing security without compromise, explain the three attributes of the fabric, and describe how the various Fortinet security solutions combine to deliver on the fabric vision. The digital economy is here and evolving, and requires organizations to drive business value by leveraging technology to connect users, devices, data, goods, and services. To compete successfully, organizations are adopting new models of connectivity and data sharing, such as cloud and enabling the Internet of Things, to make themselves more agile, more responsive to customer needs and market demands, and more relevant to their customers. As such, the underlying infrastructure is also evolving. As the technology becomes more sophisticated and lucrative, so do the threats. Cybercrime is now a multi-billion-dollar business, and cybercriminals flourish by finding new ways to exploit increasingly complex network environments. To stay ahead of detection technologies, cybercriminals are continually developing new capabilities and resources to bypass security and evade detection. It is no longer sufficient to take a vendor's word for how good their software is. Third-party certification of efficacy is needed because no one wants to trust their data integrity to a claim made in a data sheet. And, as the threat landscape increases, so do regulatory and compliance requirements. Because the risk is accelerating, governing bodies all over the world are mandating risk management processes. Implementing these processes is an arduous task. Compliance requires auditing, monitoring, and adherence, tasks that stretch most slim security staffs. Something has to give. The old way of securing the network will not address these new technology imperatives. Fortinet contends that security can be delivered without compromise, but in order to do so, today's security strategies must change. There used to be a clearly defined perimeter, and security strategies evolved to protect it. The evolution of technology, however, brought in changes that these strategies couldn't deal with. The Internet, cloud technologies, and the onslaught of wireless all contribute to today's borderless network and a massive increase in the attack surface. Combined with the fact that most networks are architected to be flat once inside their perimeter, if the network is breached, an intruder can easily move laterally throughout the network. This is a key concern for the larger enterprise. But we're also concerned about how data can leave the network. Shadow IT, such as the use of unauthorized applications such as Hightail or Dropbox, also means that there are any number of ways that data can leave your network without your knowing, making it easy to exfiltrate data following a network intrusion. To address the issue of a borderless network and an expanded attack surface, the new strategy calls for intelligent security that can provide visibility into all aspects of the infrastructure and the wisdom needed to segment the network by trust level. Next, slow is broken. Slowing down the network to implement security is not, never has been, nor will it ever be a satisfactory strategy. Enterprises have become accustomed to trading some performance for some security, a compromise that cannot be afforded in the modern era. An updated security strategy must be powerful and cannot compromise on performance in any segment of the network. From the IoT through the data center and into the cloud, from the single-user cell phone or tablet to the most sensitive proprietary database and everything in between, the security solution must be powerful at any scale. Finally, complexity is the enemy of security. The more complex a network is, the harder it is to secure it. Therein lies the problem with the typical point product approach. While individually the products may work to specification and expectation, each one is an island isolated from the rest of the solution. You have connectivity, but no security continuity between each of those islands. More importantly is the lack of consistency of the threat intelligence necessary to keep those solutions up to date. Inevitable gaps in the quality of the intelligence and the frequency of the updates between the different products opens up an enormous gap to be exploited by the hacker. Malware that might be stopped by the firewall could pass undetected by email or a web application. Dealing with these issues and trying to harmonize the differences between the different products is left to the enterprise. further complicating an already complex task. This is particularly true in the mid-size enterprise that doesn't have the resources to effectively manage this complexity. An updated security strategy requires seamless, simple cooperation between security devices. All gaps must be closed, and coordination is a must. To address the security challenges brought on by the digital economy and evolving enterprise network, and to deliver on the promise of security without compromise, the Fortinet Security Fabric provides a new visionary approach to security. The Fortinet Security Fabric is designed to dynamically adapt to the evolving IT infrastructure in order to defend its rapidly changing attack surface. It intelligently and transparently segments the network from IoT to the cloud to provide advanced protection against sophisticated threats. Each security element in the fabric is also aware of each other, allowing the elements to share policy, threat intelligence, and application flow information. This collaborative approach provides a much faster time to detect threats with the ability to initiate and synchronize a coordinated response, no matter what part of the network is being compromised. In addition, a growing number of Fortinet technology partners are actively becoming an integral part of this distributed security framework. The Fortinet Security Fabric integrates security for the endpoint, access layer, networks, application, data center, content, and cloud into a cooperative solution that can be managed, analyzed, and orchestrated through a unified management interface. The Fortinet Security Fabric is built around three critical and interdependent attributes: aware, scalable, and actionable. Let's take a look at each of these attributes. Intelligent security must be aware. The components within the environment must have visibility into all the infrastructure, including endpoints, network elements, data center, cloud, and the data itself. By having awareness of each of these elements, as well as how the data flows to, from, and between them, administrators can properly segment the environment by trust level. Network segmentation not only logically separates data and resources, it allows for advanced visibility of data and threats as they move from one network zone to the other. From a threat perspective, network segmentation divides your network into security zones to aid in compliance, monitor internal traffic and devices, prevent unauthorized access to restricted data and resources, and control the spread of intruders and malware. The next essential step is to select security solutions designed to automate operations. Security solutions should automatically work together as a system to map, monitor, and secure the distributed network, from users to the IoT to the cloud. The need for comprehensive visibility across the distributed enterprise, combined with granular policy control and coordinated response between different security devices, was a key driver behind the development of the Fortinet Security Fabric. It ties together data, applications, devices, and workflows to provide a level of awareness and responsiveness that has never before been available from any security provider. While the Fortinet Security Fabric addresses the strategy of intelligence with an aware and open system, the security delivered must also be powerful and cannot compromise on performance in any segment of the network. The same security performance that is provided at the endpoint for devices like laptops and mobile phones must also be embedded at the access layer for wired and wireless network access. It must be able to scale from the smallest branch deployments to the largest, most complex and data-intensive campus and data center environments, and it must also be available virtually to protect the private, hybrid, and public clouds. Wherever security is deployed across the environment, it must operate at the speed of the network. And finally, a modern security strategy calls for seamless security. The Fortinet Security Fabric delivers cooperative security alerts, recommendations, and audit reports seamlessly across all security elements. Through the real-time sharing of global and local threat intelligence, orchestrated through a unified analysis and management interface, the Fortinet Security Fabric empowers a dynamic response to the capabilities of criminals as they implement new threat strategies and zero-day attacks. The evolving enterprise network and its transition to a digital business model is one of the most challenging aspects of network security today. As significant trends in computing and networking continue to drive changes across critical business infrastructures, architectures, and practices, organizations are looking for innovative network security solutions to help them embrace that evolution. The Fortinet Security Fabric was designed around the principles of scalability and security, combined with high awareness and actionable threat intelligence, all resting on a series of open API standards for maximum flexibility and integration. When properly deployed, it provides the collaborative and adaptable protections today's organizations demand across their physical, virtual, and cloud environments. The question now becomes, how is the Fortinet security fabric realized in a practical sense?